Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Lazouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we will do the November 2023 review. But before to start, I wanted to share with you our sponsor, which is MedBoard. So who is MedBoard?
MedBoard, the regulatory research and intelligence platform, is focused on solving the problem with increasing news and data and new requirements, as regulatory intelligence, post-market surveillance, clinical literature review, and many more. We are making trusted MedTech information and data more accessible, creating the largest information portal search and the best tools for review, intelligence, and portfolio management. We are already changing people's lives like you by reducing tedious manual and repetitive work or saving much time. Contact us at medboard.com to learn more about us and do a free trial.
Okay, let's kick off this with the European Union. So what are some changes that are happening inside the European Union? So first we have the UDI for contact lenses. So we have a new regulation or new implementing act that was created specifically for UDI on contact lenses. There was before some MDCG guidance on this, but now there is a kind of official document that is telling mainly when this rule on UDI for contact lenses will be implemented, and it will be by the 9th of November 2025. And this rule is mainly talking about the fact that there is a new level that is created for UDI. So we had UDI DI, we had basic UDI DI, now we have master UDI DI. So mainly this is for contact lenses that have exactly the same some same parameters, and you'll have to create a master UDI DI. And if those parameters are changing, then you have to update the master UDI DI. So to have more details about that, you can go on the show notes and you'll see this implementing act about UDI DI for contact lenses. Next, we have UDAMED. So we talked about UDAMED a lot of time, and I remember when I first talked about UDAMED, about its implementation, it was before even the EU MDR was there. Then we had to discuss about some postponement. Lately it was like postponed until 2024, because 2023 it was the end of the kind of transition. Then we had an audit, and 2024 it was like starting to be published officially in the official journal. But we had a surprise, because then they again postponed. And now if you look at the image that is behind me or here, you'll see that, there are some new information. First, the information is about the blue color on each of the axes, where we have mainly information that the system is still under development for some modules like Actor until end of 2023. Devices will still continue to be developed until 2024, certificate, etc. So there are still some modules under development, even if they are available. It's why mainly you have maybe seen some differences within your UDAMED database from one day to another, because there were some changes on it. But we have also the information about mainly when this will be mandatory, and it will be Q4 2027 or Q2 2028 for the module of device and certificates. So these are mainly the actual data that are provided, and you can see on this image also a big draft, which is like, we are still not sure. So, but anyway, to be honest, it doesn't change anything for us. We'll have anywhere to register, we'll have anywhere to do all the work. The only thing that is really not good for medical device manufacturers or the community in general is the fact that we are still struggling to understand if a certain device is already registered on the market or not, on the EU market, because this is the only way to know. As soon as it is on the UDAMED database, then we know it is registered and it is approved by the authorities. But if, as UDAMED is not mandatory for the moment, we can only guess that a product is approved. So I hope it will be coming quickly, but for now, apparently the date is 2027. So we still have a lot of time to wait before to have a database that will help us to understand if the product is CE marked in the European Union. Next, we have the MDCG guidance 2023-4. It is the MDCG guidance about medical device software and combination with hardware. So, for example, smartphones that are using some camera or some sensors that are then used by some software that are considered as a medical device, software as a medical device. Then the question mainly is who will be validating that the sensors are capable to do the correct work for the software, etc. So who will be the one that will be guaranteeing that the full system is okay? So the one that is guaranteeing that is mainly the medical device company, so for sure. So they have to do the test on everything. But if they can have a small support or some help from the manufacturers of software, of smartphone, or even any hardware possible, it will be great. I mean, if iPhone or if Apple can create something that is guaranteeing that the sensors are really made for those kind of devices, or Samsung or Huawei or Oppo or any other devices. Here we talk about smartphone, but we can talk about many other hardware devices that can be used for this kind of thing. So yeah, the idea of this MDCG guidance is just to remind you that mainly you have as a manufacturer to prove that your device is compatible with the hardware that it is using. And for that, we'll talk about that later, but we have made a podcast with Eric Volbrecht. Okay, now we have received a new regulation or announcement about some fees and charges that are payable to the EMA, so European Medicine Agency. So apparently there is some rules now about payment of some fees to the EMA. For medical devices, you will maybe say, what is the link? Because EMA is for the drugs. But you may know that the EMA is now in charge of the expert panels for medical devices. So inside this document, you will see a lot of things about the expert panel for medical devices, and you will see the prices that I think the manufacturers should pay, but I was not able to find this information, where it says mainly you have to pay for the evaluation of this by the expert panel. Here is the price for, here is the cost for the reporter, here is the cost for this, etc. So, and some of those costs are really huge, to be honest. It's really wow, it's a really important cost. So I would really advise you to look at those also when you will be applying for EUMDR, because maybe you think that only the application is applicable only for the notified body, but you'll discover that by surprise, you'll still have to pay some 50,000 euros for the expert panel or some more euros for that. So this can be a bit challenging also, and it's really not a good advertisement for the EUMDR again. But better you know that before than you receive the invoice and you say, I never expected that budget on my application. I hope also notified bodies will inform you about that, so it's not like you are discovering that late. But with this document, you will know how much this costs. So it is by category of products, classification and everything. So you can look at that, but it's good to have this information now. So if you are applying now for an expert panel, this document will tell you how much it will cost so that you can add also to your budget. So check the show notes. Okay, now notified bodies in Europe. So we have two new notified bodies. One in Finland, which is called SmartEye from Finland for MDR. For IVDR, sorry, in Finland. And we have the first notified body in Turkey. So the notified body in Turkey is called Notis Belgelendirme, which is the first Turkish notified body for MDR this time. So Turkey has an agreement with Europe to be included inside the European Union for medical devices. So it means that if you are located in Turkey, you can sell your products in Europe without an authorized representative, without an importer, and with your notified body that is anywhere in Europe. But it's the same if you are in Europe and you want to sell in Turkey. You can sell in Turkey without an importer or an authorized representative, and with any notified body also. And you can also be in Europe and choose a Turkish notified body for your product. So this is really open. But it's good news. We have now the first Turkish notified body, which then will help also Turkish manufacturers to then enter more easily the market in Europe. Because it's better to have people speaking also the same language sometime to have a good assessment there. So congratulations to those notified bodies. So now what is the count? We have 40 notified bodies under MDR. So we reached the 40 level, and 12 12 notified bodies under IVDR. So there are still a lot to go to arrive already to the situation we had under MDD and IVDD, but it's already a good thing. And we have then a new call from Team NB. So Team NB is the Association for Notified Bodies. They have called for action to manufacturers, mainly to apply quickly, to apply to their notified bodies. First, yes, you have to do that because by next year, if you don't have a notified body, you may lose the extension of your transition period. So you have to have a notified body by mid of next year. Second, notified bodies have some slots. I mean, we look at LinkedIn and we have some calls also from action from notified bodies to say, we have some slots, we have some availability, call us, etc. So it's a good news because we were struggling before just to find notified body. We were on the waiting line. Now they are available. So I really advise you to go through that. And I asked this question also to ChatGPT. I asked, should we go to notified body? Should we agree with Team NB? And the answer was yes. I will maybe create the image and send that to you so that you see also the answer of ChatGPT. Okay, in terms of training now, so we have trainings that are already available on the website. So we have still a training about vigilance reporting in Europe. So if you want to understand how to create your procedures for vigilance reporting, how to do the reporting, what are the different phases between the MIR form, the FSCA form, the FSN form, etc. So all those things to understand when to also submit your vigilance reporting. Also talking about trend reporting. This is something that a lot of manufacturers are missing, trend reporting. So I'm explaining that to you in this training. So you can go to the show notes to get that. It's a self-paced training. So you can go, you register, then you have access to the different videos and to the different elements, and then you can do it by yourself, and at the end you have also a small exam to validate your knowledge. So I hope this will be helpful for you. The second training is about audit readiness. So I have noticed that a lot of my customers were not really understanding how to act during an audit, what will be an audit, how to prepare for an audit. So I created this course to help you to prepare and then to act, and then also to know exactly what you should say, not say, etc. Not to lie to an auditor, but just to be careful of that saying something that is wrong can maybe lead you to some non-conformities. So the idea is to be sure what you are saying is correct, be sure to have the facts, etc. So I try to explain that to you through this training. So don't hesitate also to go to the show notes to get the training video. And the last is the Green Belt certification program. So the Green Belt certification program, this is my famous training on EU MDR. So we have updated also the training due to all the changes that are happening now with the EU MDR legislations. So the next Green Belt sessions will be on the December 11th. And until December 15th. So I've done the last session in December. So mainly we'll go through all the different chapters of the EU MDR through the overview of the timeline and everything, significant changes also. Also about economic operators, about classification, conformity assessment, qualification as a medical device, notified bodies also. We'll go through the technical documentation, quality management system, and lastly EUMDR, UDAMET, UDI, all those things. And you can get at the end an exam. And if you pass it, you'll get your diploma with your name and everything. So don't hesitate to register now on the website for participating to the Green Belt certification program, the last Green Belt certification program for this year. And next year there will be this one plus IVDR. So I finalized the IVDR one. So now I will also provide you an IVDR version of the Green Belt. So I hope it will be helpful for you. Okay, Spain now. Spain is making a tour about the HTA. HTA is the Health Technology Assessment Regulation. Mainly, this is a regulation that is happening after, is looking at your product after your product is already CE marked. So it's a post-marketing thing. And mainly, the idea of that is to identify if your products can benefit from some reimbursement, if the prices are okay, etc. To verify if the technology is still safe, it's better maybe to use, it's state of the art, but it's also looking at equivalence between your technology and maybe a better technology than to say that yours is maybe outdated now, etc. So this HTA is mainly an evaluation of your technology to then, for the policymakers, to make some decisions about is this worth to maybe put it on the reimbursement process for some countries, etc. So the Spanish organization is now making a tour to make education for that, so you can find the dates, find the communication that the AFMPS is doing. And you can also see mainly the EAMPS, and you can see mainly the communication that they are doing, that they are trying really to educate as much as possible on the HTA. I think this will be starting a lot to be with a lot of education on that. So it's important for you to understand what is HTA and how it is working. And I put also on the show notes the regulation of HTA so that you can check about that and see exactly what it is and how it is working mainly. Okay, Switzerland now. We have a lot of news about Switzerland. So mainly the news are due to the fact that the EU MDR is updating their timeline and something. So then Switzerland is also updating their legislation to be aligned with what the European Union is doing mainly. So the first one is the information sheet on products without an intended purpose and the intended medical purpose. So Annex 16 of the EU MDR. Mainly it's information showing all the products that are considered as without an medical intended purpose, explaining to you how you should act about that, what are the timelines also, when you should be following the EU MDR or the MEDDO for the Switzerland. There is also a frequently question and answer. So it's mainly copying what the European Union has done last month about the Annex 16. So you can see that directly on the show notes also. Next one, we have the information sheet about obligations of economic operators. So this was already published before, so it's not a new document, but it's a new version 5 if I remember. And principally, this is about this extension of timeline for EU MDR, where they are mainly explaining if your certificate is valid or not, etc. What is some flow chart about it, etc. So the idea is mainly to, again, inform you about the extension of the EU MDR and aligning also, again, Switzerland with Europe in terms of the timelines and the date that manufacturers should apply for Switzerland also. So yeah, Switzerland is really trying to align a lot with the EU. I hope it's because mainly we hope that Switzerland will go back to European Union. There will be an agreement between Europe and Switzerland. So to do that, they are keeping the strategy to align with them so that when this agreement will be in place, there is no need anymore to change anything with their legislation because you are already aligned for that. So which is a good strategy. And last one about Switzerland is about the information sheet of general procedure for foreign governmental inspections in Switzerland. So when I read that, I said, oh yeah, it's great. It's mainly about telling the foreign government that if they want to come to Switzerland to audit some manufacturers that are located in Switzerland, they have to inform them, they have to get an approval, etc. for that. So it's a document that maybe manufacturers that will receive an inspection should know and should understand, because yes, there are some rules. They cannot just come to the country and audit you without or inspect you without having a primarily informed the Swiss Medic about that. So read it if you are really maybe registering your devices outside of Europe or Switzerland, and that you may have this kind of inspection coming. Okay, we decided to create a platform which is called MedTech Conf. MedTech Conf is made for MedTech conferences. So mainly what we are trying to do is to put in place all the conferences that are existing in the MedTech industry in one map or one website, where we can then see at which time those conferences are happening, what are the websites where you can register, etc. So instead of you going to each website to check when are those conferences, the idea is that you are directly going to this website and you can see directly on the map all the conferences per region, per everything, and you can zoom and you can find the information and check about them. So many of these are conferences that are still available. The ones that are already obsolete are disappearing off the map, so you can see that directly. So for now, it's like a manual process. So I created a Google form where you can just register your conferences and then we can publicize that, if I can say, on the website. We created also a LinkedIn page for MedTech Conf so that we are trying also to publicize that. So if you are looking for conferences, then try to go to MedTech Conf to check the ones that we are registered. It's just the beginning, so not all of them are there. But what we are expecting by communicating with you is also that you are helping us to find out all the conferences that may exist, and then to fill out this Google form, and then we can put that on the website. For now, it's free, so no need to pay anything for that. We will think maybe of a monetization process later, but for now everything is free. The idea is mainly to see what is happening on the website, on the platform, and where we can maybe network, which conference is existing. We can also open that to some trainings also. So the idea is mainly to communicate about what is happening on the medtech industry. And we have for now 2 events that I will be participating to. The first is next week, is Medica, from November 13th to 15th. So I will go to interview people, to meet also some customers. So it will be, I hope, a great event for everybody. So don't hesitate to contact me if you are at Medica, so that we can also meet. I can maybe also make an interview of you. And then next event just after Medica. I mean, when I say just after, is that I will travel from Medica directly to Strasbourg, from Düsseldorf to Strasbourg, to go to the Team PRC event, which is in Strasbourg. So where we'll have the meeting of all the PRC. So if you haven't already registered for the Team PRC, you can still register. I hope there is still some place available. But it will be a great place to meet all the PRC, and also to meet the EU Commission, the team, some associations, etc. of PRC, so that you can also discuss with them, explain maybe your have some question maybe about your doubts about being a PRC or not, etc. So this is the event that mainly you have to go if you are a PRC. Okay, Turkey now. So Turkey issued a communication about products that are not considered as a medical device, which I like. It's not strange. It's I like it because mainly we have sometimes a lot of question about, is this product a medical device, or can you help me to register this product as a medical device? And when you look at it, you say it's not a medical device, this. So yeah, they created this document. It's in Turkish, but with your browser you can maybe translate and then translate everything. And for example, they put on the list like some hair conditioners in hospitals, some teeth whitening products, some body bags for a mortuary corpse, so sun creams, masks, gloves, or manufactured for personal protection. So it's PPE, not medical devices. So there is a big list. So this can be also interesting for you just to read that, to understand maybe why these are not medical devices, because some of them are really borderline. So you think, why this is not a medical device? And then when you are understanding clearly how it's working and the intended purpose, you say, yes, it's not a medical device. Like a trolley that you are bringing to the rooms of patients, it's not a medical device. Unless really it has a medical device function, but it's just pushing a trolley with the things on it is not really a medical device thing. So this is really a communication that is great from the Turkish government. Maybe it could be also something that the EU can do on one of the MDCG guidance, to include on the products what is not a medical device, so to have really a clear understanding also of that. Okay, next communication is about my partnership, so the partnership of Easy Medical Device and S-Cube Technologies. So we have created an eQMS, so-called SmartEye. So this eQMS is now evolving. We are really including a lot of new functionalities inside, mainly because we are listening to our customers that are using SmartEye. So SmartEye, again, is an eQMS that has multiple modules. It's helping you to manage your documentation for quality management and regulatory affairs also. So there is a module for design and development, where you can follow all the steps of design and development, from design input, design outputs, user need, etc., validation, verification, risk management. All those steps there is a workflow for that directly on the system. You have also change controls, you have quality management system for documentation, you have trainings also. So each time you create a document, you can send it for a training to your people, and then those people will be trained, and they sign a document to say, I have been trained to that, etc. You can make a quiz also to verify if they really understood what they read, etc., etc. You have non-conformity, CAPA, compliance management, so there is also a workflow for that. You have supplier management also. You have regulatory registration also. So if you register your products in many countries, to keep track of all this, you have this module also, where it gives you also an alert. You say, oh, my registration will be done in 3 months. So then you have to maybe re-register, redo some kind of re-registration on the country. Or you can say, I want to be alerted 2 years before, so then you have some time to do that thing. things. So the idea is mainly to help medical device manufacturers as much as possible. So don't hesitate to ask for a demo of the system. We can make a short demo just to show you all the functionality. And if you are part of the customers of SmartEye, then you'll have also a bigger training with all the functionalities and everything on it. So don't hesitate to go to the website smart-eye.io. So smart-eye.io, and you can find all the information, and then you can also ask for a demo. So don't also hesitate to go to the show notes to find this information. Okay, USA now. So USA, since October 1st, you can use, or you have to use, the eStar form for your 510K submission. So the eStar form, so it's the new form that is a PDF file that you have to fill and attach all the documents inside then to create your 510K application for it. So there is a guidance that is created for that. The link is also on the show notes. So this document is great, I mean, because it's really guiding you through all the fields. As soon as you select a certain thing, it will or remove some other fields that are not necessary, or include new fields, or open new boxes, etc. So it's really dynamic. I would not call it digitalization because it's just a PDF file that you are filling, but it's going in the right direction in terms of harmonizing the way that people have to create a 510K application with all the information that are inside. So I really advise you to even have a look, just open an eStar template just to check how it's working and to look at it, so that you are aware and that you can brag on people to say, yes, I know what is a eStar and I know how it is working. So don't hesitate to go to the show notes and you'll find all the information. Australia now. Australia is creating a webinar in November 21st, 2023 at 11:30 Australian time, AEDT. So just to not think that it will be like it will be really late apparently in the evening if you are in Europe. But yeah, if you are interested, so this webinar is about UDI. So UDI will be also implemented by TGA in Australia, and the idea is to explain to you why this will be beneficial for everybody, how it will be working, etc. So mainly UDI will be harmonized everywhere in the world soon, because we talk about that in many other countries. So it will be good to have an understanding if there are some differences between Europe and TGA. There are some differences between Europe and USA, but because, for example, in the US, there is no basic UDI-DI. I think they have also no master UDI-DI like for contact lenses. So maybe in Australia there are some differences. Maybe in Saudi Arabia there are differences, etc., etc. So the idea is to really have an understanding of what is the difference for your company related to the registration in different countries and related to the UDI. So don't hesitate to go to the show notes and register for this webinar where you can look at this. So remember, it's 11:30 AEDT, so Australian time. Okay, so podcast nostalgia. So we had 4 podcast episodes lately. So the first one is about what are some pitfalls to avoid during software design with Veronika Michaluk, so from HTD. So mainly we talked about design and development of software and what are some issues that those developers are doing, because we have a lot of newcomers to this. So companies that are trying to manufacture medical device software, but they have no clue about all the documentation, and they wait until the end to then ask what should we do to be compliant to the regulation. So mainly the idea is to be more proactive. So we talked about that mainly with Veronika. Next one is Afri Summit. So I was in Egypt and for Afri Summit in Cairo, and we had to I had interviewed a lot of people there. So mainly we had for the first interview, for the first part, we had Morad Ajan from the DMP, the Moroccan authority, where we talked mainly about the situation in Morocco for medical devices. We had Rana Shalhoub from Mecomed, where we talked mainly about the situation also in the Middle East, in Africa, for the association, for the progress that is happening also in the region in terms of regulations. And we talked then with the Dr. Mona Al-Musali from PRA Consulting, who is organizing this event, the Afri Summit. And mainly we reviewed all what was good, and the advantages of having this kind of summit for the Africa and Middle East region. Then part two, we had specifically the Egyptian operators. So we had Nora El Hariri from the EDA, the Egyptian Drug Administration, where we talked about all the progress that the EDA is doing now for including medical devices rules and improving also the situation for medical device manufacturers. And we had Mohammed Mahdi Ghonim, who is one manufacturer of IVD in Egypt, and explaining mainly why Egypt is really a great country to go if you are manufacturing medical devices, to go as a manufacturer, also to go as for selling your devices mainly there. So it was a great interview, so thanks for all of them for being part of this. Next, last week we had the podcast episode with Eric Volbrecht on the MDCG 2023-4, for which I called it mainly validate your iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, Huawei, etc. for your software as medical devices. But it's not only that, it's all hardware devices that are used specifically with medical device software, single SAMD, so software as medical device. So mainly the idea was to explain this guidance, because there was a lot of I'd say criticism, I don't know, or a lot of discussions, a lot of complaints, a lot of things about that. So the idea was really to explain again, what is it for, what is the reason for this kind of guidance, and the fact that what was written on the guidance was really logical also. So don't hesitate also to go to this episode to understand more about the situation for this guidance, and also if you are a medical device software that is using those kind of platforms, to know exactly what you should expect from the authorities regarding your products. Okay, so it was really a pleasure to provide you this monthly update. So don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. If you have also some projects for medical device, your medical devices in quality and regulatory affairs, don't hesitate to contact me. We can help you. We are a consulting firm, so we can do consulting. We are also authorized representative, importers. We are also trainers, so I can train also your company or your people about medical device regulation and quality. So don't hesitate to contact me if you have any question then. So thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.